Hello, welcome back to P podcast. This is the Off the Woodwork football section, and today we're doing our football predictions for the 2021-22 season. So we are a man down. Tom Diaper is on the holiday, as it is the summer, but I am joined by the two of the other members of the Off the Woodwork channel. This is Ollie Bennett and George.
Hello.
Okay. We're going to start it off with the tableau, the Premier League table. Yes, that's what most people do at the beginning of the season. They predict the table. And first off, we're going to start off with the relegation zone, the people that are going down. So, Bennett, what's that bottom three?
So, I think for me, there was about 8 teams or 7 teams who I think have some form of chance of going down this year. The rest are pretty safe. So this could go either way. Certain teams haven't made a lot of signings or had poor ends of the season last year, might struggle. But I've gone fairly unconventional here. I think people at least will have 2 of the promoted teams going down, but I only have 1 of them going down. And that is Watford, 20th.
Yeah.
Mainly just because they haven't made any signings. Craig Dawson's gone. When you have people like Ismail Assar and Will Hughes in the Championship, that's not going to carry you out in the Prem, really. So they just don't have the squad, really. And, you could say the same for, these other 2 teams, which are fairly... Okay, yeah, it's fairly interesting. So I've gone Brighton. Now, I love Graham Potter. I love that team, but they just haven't fixed that attack. They've obviously lost Ben White. It's just... the squad, I'm just not sure about. They've got some great players in there and they've got a great manager. It's just some teams have got to go down. It's just how it is sometimes. And then the other one, a fairly big team, but I've gone for Newcastle. Now, again, just haven't brought anyone in. They had a very poor end to last season. The only real shimmering, glimpse of hope for them was Joe Willock. Didn't really have anything else going forward. I mean, you could say Callum Wilson had some injury problems, but at the same time, the rest of the squad just hasn't performed. The defense is shaky. So many injury-prone players there. It's just, I just have a bad feeling, and I really hope they stay up just because it's great for the league to have a big team like Newcastle in there. But I'm just not feeling it for me.
I do feel like that's some good choices. George, will the mighty Southampton be going down though? That's the question.
I think we'll just stay up. But I'm not confident. I'm not looking forward to this season. I've gone, as Bennett said, I think he assumed that 2 championship teams would go down, even though he didn't have that in his list. But I've gone with Norwich going down bottom. I just don't think they have it in them. I think they're a bit of a yo-yo team, I feel. I think Watford will also go down. I think they'll come 19th. As Bennett said, no signings. Players that can carry in the championship can't cut it in the Prem, unfortunately. And also I have Brighton going down as well. As Bennett said, few signings. Obviously losing Ben White is going to be a huge blow to them. And it in effect carries their defence. And I feel like they're just going to concede way too many and they won't have the firepower up front just to almost outscore the goals they're going to be leaking at the back. So that's my bottom 3.
Okay, very interesting. Because this is my bottom 3, and 2 teams you have not mentioned that are in my bottom 3. I have Watford 20th. They've done absolutely nothing. They're going right back down. Cool. This one, I just want them to more go down than I think they go down. Burnley, just go down, I beg. I don't want you in the Prem. If you play some dry football, I hate it. It's not entertaining. Just go down with your dead manager too. Thank you very much.
Hey, what's wrong with Sean Dyche?
I only like his interviews, and that's it. The football you play, everything else, just go down.
He just does the job. It makes no sense because they always have a weak squad, but it's like just Sean Dyche, honestly, man.
Yeah, I don't like football play at all. I just go down, I beg. I've got Brentford at 18th. I don't see the hype whatsoever, really. I don't see the hype like that. I don't see it. And I've got them at 18th going down.
Okay. I mean, it's not a bad shout. They have a pretty weak squad, but just wait.
Just wait. I know they played good football in the Championship, and I know that they've bottled it quite a few times. I think they're going to bottle the relegation zone this time and go down. Actually, so yeah. Right. I reckon we'll do the next three again. We'll work up in with threes again. So
All right.
we'll go 17th. I want your 17th, 16th, and 15th, and I'll kick this off actually. 17th, just staying in is Newcastle for me. Yep, they're just about staying in. Willock was very good last season, and I've heard that he's coming back with them actually for 25 million. There's just contract negotiations going on and meeting with agents and whatever.
Doing, man. What are they doing?
I know. 16th, I've got Norwich, and yeah, I do think Norwich will stay up. I know some people saying they're a yo-yo team. I think they've got a couple players in there that are very interesting, good players. I know they lost Emi Buendia, their best player, but brought in Rashika. They've got Billy Gilmore on loan. They've got quite a few nice pieces. So yeah, that's Norwich 16th. 15th, I've gone for Georgia Southampton. So yeah. I let George talk about Southampton. It gets to them. So yeah, that is my next three. George, 17th, 16th, 15th, please.
17th, I also had Newcastle just staying up, as you've covered most of our points about Willock and them just being like looking unconfident. You know, they're a bit of they have patches, but I don't think they'll just have enough. But I think it'll be last day of the season kind of stuff. I've got us at 16th. I think we've only lost Danny Ings so far and Bertrand, but if Ward-Prowse goes, then we could be slipping further down the table. We have bought a new striker from Blackburn, but there's always a danger in buying Championship players because, as I said, it's a completely different animal, the Premier League, and I feel like if he's not firing from day one, yeah, go on.
You've also brought in Armando Broja. Don't sleep on Armando Broja. He's a great Chelsea loanee, and I reckon he'll start for you too.
And don't forget Livramento as well, who's going to get good minutes from the start.
We've got two left backs as well. I can't pronounce the other guy's name, for some French dude. But I think we also bought. I think he's a centre back called Pierre or something like that. I can't tell you how you say it, but he looks decent. But we basically have the same squad as last year. I think just touching on the Danny Ings thing, I think we got an absolute steal, to be honest. I think we basically robbed Aston Villa in my books. He had a year on his contract. He's 29 and he's got a glass knee. And we got 25 mil for him. He's injury prone and he didn't look like he wanted to play for us. And he had a year on his contract and we managed to get 25 mil for him. That's really good for us, I think.
It's a good deal for Southampton, but I understand it's the risk, but like, if you go back 2 years to that season he had, where he was ripping apart defense, but not much around him really to help him, you know, if he can replicate that at Villa, probably a better team attacking wise, he has more support, then I think it could be the money's worth. But I totally understand. I mean, 30 mil for for that many risks there, and you know, not much reward. Maybe it really depends.
And then at 15th, unfortunately for Shalom, I do have Burnley staying up, which I'm sure will be annoyed about it. But I think the Sean Dyche way seems to work year in, year out, and I've got it working again. So, yeah, that's my next slot.
Bennett, 17th, 16th, 15th.
Okay, so in 17th, I've got Brentford. 16th, I've got Norwich, and then 15th, I've got Southampton. Now, so pretty similar to your guys, but the reason why Brentford are probably going to stay up, first of all, over the last few seasons, they probably have been the best Championship side. They've just been lucky. They've sort of bottled them important games, but at the same time, they've got to think at one point they're going to go up. I mean, they had the best goal difference in both sides. They've had the most goals in the Championship last 2 seasons, and the thing is as well, you can look. Oh, you can say on paper their squad isn't the best, but the reason why they might not be, the most well known and all this stuff. Obviously, they use the Moneyball technique, and they like to get players from the Danish league and the Scandinavian players like Ajaya from Celtic, young centre back who's doing pretty good. And also, if you look at the French second league, is another place they like to go for. That's why they've gone for Johan Visser, who I think will have a good season. A lot of them players, like look, Side Ben Brahma came from that same sort of background. No one thought he was going to be as good as he is now. Sold him for 20 mil to West Ham. It's just the fact that they bring in these sort of unknown players, undervalued players, the most important part, and then take them and build them into the system. Because Thomas Frank has a very smart way of play. He works well with the owner to sort of get them just the best out of this team in this sort of unorthodox style. So yeah, I think they'll stay up, but I understand to have them relegated because they really go either way. If you watch them in the Championship, they have gained a lot their Premier League quality, and they have for a while. They have games where they just don't look like they want to be there. It's just how it is sometimes with some teams. But yeah, then I've got Norwich 16th. I think they've had some really good signings. Bringing back Yanulis from Panathinaikos. I think he was one of their best players last season at left back. Also, two Werder Bremen players and Josh Sargent and Brashika. Now, I think Josh Sargent came yesterday. Need a bit more depth at striker. Because you know what people like in the Premier. He had that 1 month. He's a bit of an August merchant for me. But if he goes out, you've got Josh Sargent in there. And I think Todd Cantwell's up for a good year. He really has shown it in pre-season. He's really could push for a higher team to be transferred to. It really does depend. But yeah, I'm quite confident about Norwich, but at the same time, they are a yo-yo team, so you don't know how it's going to go. And then Southampton obviously had a bad end to last season, and obviously lost one of their best players in Danny Ings. But I think, I trust Hassan Huttler as a manager. He's quality. He can have his moments where he's shocking. I mean, look at the United game. There's something he can just switch off like that. But there was a time where you had one of the best defenses in the Premier and you were first in the league. So, we'll see. But I think they'll probably stay up. And obviously, with Adam Armstrong coming in, pretty solid replacement.
He's good on career mode as well.
That's what I've heard as well, yeah.
Right. So that was 17, 16, 50. We'll do this as a 4, actually, so we can complete the bottom half. Right. I'm going to stick with you, Ben, actually. To have your 14th, 13th, 12th, and the 11th team in your Premier League prediction table.
So I've got Burnley 14th. I've got Palace 13th, Wolves 12th. And wait, do you want 11 as well, yeah?
Yes, sir.
I've got West Ham. So Burnley, there's not really a lot of explanation. They just always seem to do it. Not really bringing anyone in to help their weak wingers and attackers. But at the same time, people like Chris Wood get it done. Ashley Barnes get it done. And obviously they have a great Brexit defense, as we would like to see in the modern game. Maybe not the most exciting team to watch, but they get it done. Chris Wood, a very underrated striker, bagging a lot of goals. People, that kind of goes on notice to a lot of people. But yeah, I think they'll get it done. It's just Sean Dyche way. And then I've got Palace. Now, if you look at their squad on paper, it's pretty solid. And I can understand why some people might see him going even further. I guess we'll see that later, see these other guys' predictions. But I don't always trust Vieira as a manager right now. But with the business they've done, I can't see him really going that far down. I really like, obviously people like Michael Elise, Conor Gallagher from Chelsea. I was really impressed with West Brom last season. So I think they've just got a solid squad for the place they are, and pretty promising for the future. And then Wolves, I have people putting them even further down, and I just don't see it. They still have a very solid squad. Jimenez coming back, he's looked all right in pre-season as I've heard. Bringing in people like Ike Nuri permanently at left back, just bolstering it a little bit. But yeah, I think there are better squads around them, but at the same time, they'll be solid. And then West Ham, obviously getting in Europe last year, but yeah, I think they're probably the team who benefited from having no fans in the stadium the most last year, because they are known for having the most toxic and just negative fan base. So, when one bad pass goes in, their fan base is going to turn on them. Obviously, Jay Lings might not come back, so we don't know. And they can't beat Astra as well, so they might even get to Europe. But yeah, I think West Ham just about missed the top 10.
Okay. George. 14th, 13th, 12th, and 11th.
14th, I got Palace. 13th, Brentford. 12th, Wolves. 11th, I got Leeds.
13th, so high for Brentford. Damn.
So 14th, Palace. I think they'll be like that far down the league because of Bennett's. Not convinced by Vieira as a manager. I know they've got a good squad on paper, as Bennett said, but I feel like they're just going to underperform because, you know, the team can't play well if they're not being organised correctly. But on the other hand, Vieira could shock us and he could have a managerial masterclass like Unai Emery. 13th, I got Brentford. I know I'm hearing they got a weak squad. I just think Ivan Toney's going to absolutely pop off in the Prem. That's just what I think. I know people might not agree, but that's what my gut feeling is. 12th, I've got Wolves. I know that's not like replicating what they've done in previous seasons, but I just think that they've got a decent squad and they're a mid-table team, which I think is fair. And 11th, Leeds. I mean, they've just got a good team, and obviously Calvin Phillips is going to be bossing their midfield again. And if they've got anything like Euro Phillips was, they'll be well on their way.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's me over, boss.
Yes, sir. So my 14th, I've got Brighton. Some of you who had Brighton going down?
I had Brighton going down, but it's just a gut feeling. I do like him, but
I
Tom's
think
got to go down.
I know, right? I don't have them going down. See, your Brentford is like my Brighton. I just think they're suitable. I think I know they haven't sorted out like their defense or anything like that, but they've got great talents in there still. Terry Lamptey's coming back from an injury, and I feel like he is the shining light of this team and stuff like that. I know it's weird to say like a right back is like the shining light, but you know, I believe that. 13th, I've got Leeds. They've got a very solid squad. Patrick Bamford, get him in your fantasy. You got Phillips, if he can perform like he did next to Rice for England, then they can be doing good stuff this season. Got Rafinha, one of my favorite players to watch in the Prem too. I think he's going to light up the Prem again this season. So yeah. 12, I've got Mum's Wolves. You know, we'll see. I feel like they're going to come 12th this season. They were kind of disappointed last season, but we know why. Obviously, they had an 18-year-old up front for most of the season in Fabio Silva. And, you know, that can be very tough on someone like him. He's got to acclimatise to, you know, the Premier League and stuff like that. But, you know, Raul Jimenez is coming back, so we'll see how they do this season. And 11th, I've got the Hammers, West Ham. I feel like they're going to drop off, you know, quite a bit this season, you know, with things such as, you know, Europa League. We've seen it with so many teams. When those little teams, if they had it before when they got Europa League with Payet, when they got Europa League, they were almost like in 15th, 16th finish that season, West Ham before. And, you know, that's how it is when you get European football. It can be very, very tough the next season for teams that don't have much squad depth. So, yeah, that's my 14th, 13th, 12, and 11. Right. We'll do 10, 9, 8. And I'm going to start with George this time. 10, 9, 8, before we get into the European spots.
Talking about Europe, 10th, I got West Ham. As you alluded to earlier, Europe's tiring competition. And if they go any depth into the competition, then their lack of squad depth is really going to show. I think that showed with Wolves when their season basically started in early August and then ended in almost July, like late July. And that just showed how tired they were. And I think that's also going to impact them next season as well after this one coming, just because of that long season they're going to have. 9th, I'm going to violate Tom's team. I've got Arsenal. I just can't see them doing well. 9th, yeah.
You're taking.
I just can't see him. I just can see him bottling it again, and everyone making fun of him. They've got the documentary crew. They got the All or Nothing crew, and I just think they're just going to bottle it, and it's going to be amazing for everyone to watch that isn't an Arsenal fan. Yeah, I mean,
they did come 8th in the Prem last year, but
yeah,
it can't get worse than that. No, it cannot get worse.
And above them, I got Everton. I got
Everton with Benitez over them.
Yeah, I think
Rafa.
Benitez is a much better manager.
He's so old fashioned. His style did not work for Newcastle, and he's pretty much washed.
All right, well, come
That's
chat
why.
to me at the end of the season, and then we'll see.
Cool. Okay, cool. You're wrong, but
I just
actually, I'm
don't
not
think
gonna say
Arsenal are going to do well. I'm sorry, 50 mil for Ben White when Varane was 40 is an absolute
Well, why would
joke.
he go to Arsenal though? Why would he go to what? Yeah. Or what? Could Brentford go and sign Varane? No, they couldn't. That's how it is.
No,
Yeah,
nah,
exactly. Yeah.
I get with the Varane Ben White thing. Listen, Varane had 1 year left on his deal, and Real Madrid were looking to sell him. He wanted to leave, so you had to sell him for 42. Ben White had 3-4 years left on his deal, and he's English, and he came off a good season. So we know that, and we've seen it already with Harry Maguire. That could go to big prices for players. So yeah, 50 mil. Sometimes that's the price you got to pay. Look at us with Chilwell, came off a good season, 3-4 years, 50 mil. That's sometimes you have to pay that for the position you need, and that's what Arsenal had to do. I'll do my 10, 9, 8 before we get to Bennett. 10, I have Everton. They've got a good team, but Rafa Benitez, as Bennett has already alluded to, old-fashioned, old-fashioned. It's not 2005 anymore, sunshine. So yeah. What's this? 9, I've got Crystal Palace. Croydon Ball, you know how it's gonna be. Great signings this summer. Palace have done. Conor Gallagher, Mark Way, Elise, and I've already got great pieces there. I don't know when Ezzy's gonna come back, but I hope he comes back soon.
That's the thing. That's why I'm going that high, because I don't know when he's coming back. But yeah.
But they've got Ezzy, they've got Elise, they've got Zaha. They still have IU Benteke. That's a problem up top, but we can get past that because the talent behind them is so incredible that they should be fine this season. And yeah, and 8, I've got the Villa. Even though they've lost Jack Grealish for 100 mil, they've spent that 100 mil already in very, very good places to replace him. 25 mil for Danny Ings, 30 mil for Leon Bailey, and 30 mil-ish for, was it Emi Buendia? Was it 30 mil for Buendia? Something like that.
I think so.
And I think they've got great pieces. I think Ollie Watkins will now go play on the left hand side of the front four, and Ings will play up top with Emi Buendia in the middle, and my boy Leon Bailey repping the top, with my boy Leon Bailey on the right. Exactly. Douglas Luiz, John McGinn. That team's coming at 8, but I really like that team. Got a good manager in Dean Smith. Yeah. I do like Aston Villa. And I'm not going to disrespect Arsenal. Right? This joke man up here did. So yeah. Bennett.
All right, and so I've also got Everton 10th. Just I don't really trust Benitez that much. And to be honest, I've been a fan of quite a lot of the business they've been making. Got a lot of players on free like Townsend, Damari Gray for very little, and also Begovic is a little backup keeper, because you know what Pickford can be like in the Prem. Not quite what he's like for England, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm expecting another big year from Calvert-Lewin. Richarlison can have a little comeback season.
Lewin, though, if we're being honest, I know it's a big year, but he's one of them players that score so much at the beginning. Sorry to interrupt, so. But he scores so much.
I totally get it. Yeah. I mean,
he's just come off a gold medal though, so I think his confidence is going to be sky high.
Gold medal?
Yeah, the Olympics.
What?
Did he win the gold?
I was talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Oh right, no.
Sorry, I thought you said Richarlison
as well. Yeah.
I'm not Richarlison. No, Richarlison. I agree with Richarlison. I'm talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Like he is purple patch merchant. So he
I mean, it's the same with James as well. Like he had a good start and then sort of got injured and kind of didn't come back to what he is. So I hope he can get back to it, because I love watching James when he's on his day.
It's not been his
I
day
think
since
Everton is a question mark. I'm like, what's that?
I said it's not been his day since like 2016.
Well, he had a good start to the season last year. Let's just say that, right? He was looking like not quite World Cup 2014, but was looking all right. Obviously, I like their back four. Maybe even Yerry Mina might leave, but I don't think that's a huge loss because you've got people like Ben Godfrey and Michael Keane there as well. So yeah, I think Everton could go higher, but at the same time, not fully trusting Benitez. Ninth, I got Leeds. Now coming off a pretty good end to last season. Bielsa being a brilliant manager, playing very attacking, exciting football. And I mean, even if Bamford, to be honest with you, missed probably half his big chances last year. And imagine if he could, maybe put that up to like 75% of his chances. Honestly, I think almost the most chances created in the Prem. I don't know the exact stat or whatever, but they create a lot of chances. Got a bit unlucky, but with Rafinha, the way he was playing at the end of the year, like he could have a big year. Getting Jack Harrison permanently. I mean, losing Alioski, but you also bring in someone almost better in Junior Firpo. So yeah, I'm liking Leeds. Very dangerous. And then 8, I've also got Villa now. Lost Jack Grealish, but at the same time, extremely solid defense. Probably one of the best in the league. I think they were third most clean sheets last year. I think something like that. Konsa, brilliant, very underrated. Mings, New Villa captain, absolute rock. Matt Targett was improving last year. Had a very good year, as what I've heard from Villa fans. And also Matty Cash had a pretty solid year. And then the rest, Buendia and Bailey are going to be very exciting signings. Ings also, with Watkins out at the start of the year, possibly. Ings is definitely going to be having a big role, being the main scorer in a pretty new look attack for Villa. Also, obviously, McGinn being back fully fit, which is great to see. But Nakamba might be leaving or Douglas Lee might be leaving. So that's one thing to look out for. But with the way they were shown promise last year, and it's a very exciting team. I think, 8th is about right. But, I think that 8, 9, 10, 11, it could change. You never know.
Right. I'm going to stick with you, Bennett. Can you give me 5 to 7?
5 to 7. Now, this is fairly interesting. But here we go. So I got Arsenal 7th, Leicester 6th, and I got Spurs 5th. Now,
That's
I know
same as me. It's the same as me.
It's bold to say, and I really going into any Spurs season, I have a little bad feeling it could all go to pot, especially with a new manager. But I just think Nuno has been let go really easily by Wolves, and he almost has a similar style to Poch. It's very, exciting football, very complete opposite of what Mourinho was like. So it's great to see. I mean, from preseason, what I'm seeing, we're playing a lot better attacking. We're creating chances. The defense is still shocking, but we brought in Christian Romero, so that's something to look out for. Hopefully, you can get the best out of Matt Doherty as well for us. And I'm expecting a good year for Dele Alli. He's not knows what he's doing with him. Obviously, bringing in Brian Hill as well puts that a complete upgrade on the Lamella there. Either will, depending on how Bergwijn and Lucas do, he can slot in. If Kane leaves, we've got another winger slot in there and we'll play Son up top. But people are forgetting, right? We went to the Champions League final without Harry Kane. And I know it's different in the Premier. It's longer games. It's more to sort of worry about. You can get lucky in the Champions League. But at the same time, given how well we've done our squad without Kane, and we are going to obviously suffer with him, I just think we'll just about pull out with 5th place and Europa League football. I'll go back to Arsenal, 7th. Now, it's another exciting team. Obviously, I think was like 2nd in the league on points in the second half of the season. Really made a good comeback. Obviously, the likes of Smith Rowe and Saka coming through. Martinelli will be back as well for this season, which is also exciting for them. It's just the Lacazette and Aubameyang putting in inconsistent performances last year. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. And that's really the problem for Arsenal. They need that consistent goal scorer this year coming into it because the defense is all fine, especially bringing in Ben White. But it's just, the attack's not great. I mean, Lokonga coming in as well. Looked great against Spurs in pre-season in the CDM role next to Partey, especially if Partey's not playing at the start of the season. He can fill that fine. But yeah, I mean, there could be any sort of chance that they could finish above us. I think it could definitely happen. But yeah, and then Leicester, to be honest with you, they play great football, all this stuff. They have a pretty solid squad, but I think at times last year they got lucky, especially against the better teams. Like the game against Liverpool was all basically player mistakes. Same with the game against Spurs in the first half of the season. I think it's just they've done well to come fifth last 2 seasons in a row, but I'm just not fully sure they can carry it on this way. But yeah, they're a great team, but I think our squad maybe I wouldn't say better, but it's pretty even. And I'm just gonna go obviously my boys to back them go fifth.
Okay, cool. Looks like George ain't here, so George.
No, I'm here.
George, you can kick off.
I'm just wondering who told Diaper earlier about the Everton, the Arsenal situation.
Young man, I texted him straight away. I can't lie.
I've just received a message from a very unhappy Arsenal fan about my prediction there.
What did he say? Read it out.
All right. There was some profanities in there, so I will blur them out. He said, when's that? That's unacceptable. 9th, us. I know we're bad, but 9th. I don't think he's happy.
9th is bad. I don't think 9th. 9th isn't.
We don't know. It's a prediction. And I'm loving your Arsenal slander, George. I'm actually loving it.
Thank you.
And I wish I could put him 9th, but I'm not that mean. So
Ruthless, mate. Ruthless.
George, you're gone then. 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Right. 7. I got Villa. As all the points have been covered. Great signings. They basically spent the Grealish money before they got it because it was pretty obvious he was going out the door. They've spent very, very well, as various people have said, and I just think they got a very strong squad. I know they didn't finish as high as they should have or could have last year, but they've recruited well, and I think they can push on now. 6th, unfortunately, Bennett, I do have Spurs here, but that should be enough for Europa League, I think. And then 5th, I got Leicester because they seem to bottle Champions League every year, so I think they'll probably do it again. But yeah, Spurs and Leicester, it could go either way. I don't think Aston Villa will get any higher than 7th. But Spurs and Leicester, those two could be flipping for me. But I think Leicester will just pip you lot to it. And I think, but however, if Kane does stay, which at the moment I think he probably will, you probably could push on to 5th.
If they get a deal done, but it's Levy. You know what he's like. He's very strict with it. He said strictly he wants 160 mil, and if they want to go aggressive, then fine. But I don't.
Even City can't afford that after.
I can see that, but I mean, to be honest, it's probably better if he leaves. To be honest, I know he's obviously a great player, but I don't know if he's going to want to be there next year. To be honest with you, because we know his intentions. He wants to go and win as much trophies as possible. You know that's not the best place to do it at Spurs. So. Yeah, I mean, obviously the ideal world is to keep Kane, but I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, I'll do my 5 to 7. 7, I've got Arsenal. I think they're gonna. Yeah. I mean, I don't like Arsenal, but I'm gonna put some respect on the name. I'm putting them 7th. They got a couple nice pieces in there. Smith Rowe's now number 10. We'll see if he can fill the boots of back in the day of what's his face now? Ozil. And exactly. Maybe you can get that partnership of Saka, Smith Rowe, like Ozil and Alexis Sanchez was back in the day. You never know.
Hello.
It's just up top. It's up top. I like Lacazette a lot. He's probably my favorite Arsenal player. However, Lacazette the machete is not like he's on FIFA back in the day, and he does not score. So, and Aubameyang, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He had illnesses, he had all this and that. So I'm giving him the benefit of that. Hopefully he can have a bounce back season just for him and his individual career. So yeah, I've got 6. I've got Leicester. Leicester, I like their team. Again, Europa League. I think they're going to miss out on Champions League again. I think Tottenham's just a bit stronger than them again. So yeah, and I like Leicester's team. Yeah, put it that way. I like Leicester's team. 5th, I've got Tottenham Hotspur. I don't like Tottenham whatsoever, but I'm gonna put respect on the name again. I'm coming to Tottenham a bit later when we get to later in this video. So yeah, I like quite a lot of their players. They've done some good business this season. I like their players they've brought in. So yeah, and yeah, top 4 it is. Top 4. This is what Champions League spots, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna kick us off. 4th, Liverpool fans are gonna hate me. Liverpool are in 4th for me, and it's tough. But Oh, yeah, I'm sick of it. Liverpool, fourth have got Liverpool. They got a good team. Andy Robertson's out for a little bit of the season, like 2-3 months. I just don't think they're as good as United, City, Chelsea. I don't think they're as good as them. Yeah, they've not replaced. They've got an issue in midfield. They've got Fabinho. They've got Henderson. They're still not filled in that Wijnaldum gap. I wonder if they think that Navigator can be that guy this season.
Navigator cannot be that guy, unfortunately.
Trust me, we're not that guy.
And Curtis Jones is injured as well now, so
exactly.
You know.
Maybe Thiago, they feel can come in and be that guy this season, or whatever. Oh, Spudderman. But
hello.
I'm not sure what they think. Hopefully Mane can have a bounce back season from last season. He was a bit dry. He got dry at the end of the season. So Salah's going to do Salah things, and up top Firmino, he's a great link up player. But we'll see what he can do this season. Maybe it can be like that 18-19 Firmino, where he got like 16 goals, 11 assists, or whatever he did. So yeah, 3. I've got Manchester United. They've got great signings. Jadon Sancho for 72 million. They brought in Varane for 42. So yeah, they've got some good youth in there. Man U needs to start winning trophies sooner or later, or Ole, the time's running out. Ole, you're lucky, to be honest, to be getting a new contract, because you've won nothing to get a new contract. You have to earn your contract usually. Second place finishes. People don't remember second place usually. I can't lie to you. They remember the person that won it, and Ole has not won with Man U yet. Man U's won nothing for 4 or 5 years. So we'll see what they can do. Second, I don't care if I'm biased. Second, City. I'm sick of them winning it every single year. We need a new winner in there. So yeah, City have a great squad. Jack Grealish just signed for them. They've still not covered that left back situation, but maybe they think Zinchenko can just stay there. He's a good player. So yeah, I just want to change, and that changes my club, Chelsea Football Club, to win the Premier League 2021-22 season. We just got as we speak. Romelu Lukaku Bolognoli is in London as we speak.
Oh, hello.
So, hello.
You tracked the flight or something?
No, it's on CFC news page actually. I was.
Some fans are like that. Cough, cough, Arsenal. We know you are.
And then they finished 9th.
Reading the stars, it literally is.
But yeah, my Spaghetti Bolognoli is arrived in London. I can see a great season from Kai Havertz this season. I can see, that I don't think we're going to stick with this 5-back system for the whole season, because I think Tuchel realised there's too much talent in this squad to keep playing 5-back. All right, cool. We get it. You got some cool toys. All right, cool.
It's Lego, man. Look how sick it is.
That's pretty cool, to be fair.
I love it.
But yeah, I don't believe they're going to stick with no 5-back for too long. My Chelsea, I think that will line up sooner or later with like maybe Werner on the wing, with a rotation with Werner, Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi on the left. Mount will play in the middle, and Havertz will play on the right, or whatever it is. You're always going to get some type of injury throughout the season where someone else can thrive and stuff like that. So I believe that Chelsea will win the 2021-22 season. Bennett.
Top 4 time for me, yeah? What are you saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this could literally go in 4 ways, right? Literally. I think all 4 of these have the capability to win in the Prem, for me, right? There's 2 standouts for me, obviously, but the other 2, you never know what could happen. So 4th, I've got Man United. Now, to be honest, I think I got lucky at times last year. This sort of counter-attacking play, it does pay off, as they kind of, obviously last year, they did sort of, I think they won back the most points from losing positions. It was ridiculous. You always see, they go 1-0 down at half-time, 80th minute, 1-1, and then 2-1 like 89th minute. You know how it is. It's
behind
risky play.
Behind merchants.
They are. They're comeback merchants. And also, they're pen merchants as well. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't fully trust how Ole plays against these lower league teams. Sometimes plays a bit too conservative, and I love it when they, the Europa League, they play free-flowing football. If you look at the Roma game, literally just bing, bang, bosh. You get Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka up the pitch. Wan-Bissaka actually did improve quite a lot going forward. So I think that's something to look out for. And obviously bringing in Varane. And obviously Sancho as well. But yeah, we can talk about that later. And but yeah, I think, just with how last season went, a lot of teams were injured, a lot of that. So, if Chelsea were fully fit, they would have finished above them probably, the way Tuchel was going. And also Liverpool probably if they're Van Dijk. So yeah, I think Man United have the sort of the smallest chance of them 4 teams to win the Prem. Then third, I was really close to even put them higher because you never know how they could do. I got Liverpool. Van Dijk coming back, we don't know how he is. I think he got skinned in his first game back in pre-season, but we know what he's been like in the last couple of years. Probably one of the best players in the Prem. Obviously bringing Konate, Joe Gomez. Sometimes he's pretty solid, but has his moments. And bringing Konate, bit of higher ceiling, for the future. And I'm not sure how they're going to fit in that one Admiral, especially because Curtis Jones is injured and Thiago.
Renato Sanchez.
Renato Sanchez is the perfect replacement, or even someone like Bellingham in the future, something like that. But
yeah,
Thiago hopefully can do that. And obviously, we know the front three are like Mane in for a comeback season as well. But there could be any chance they could win the Prem. It's just how I think it all depends on how Van Dijk does, that defense does, with Robertson being out for a while, and also just filling in that midfield again. That's what it seems like for me. And then the top 2, Shalom will be happy. I've got City second and Chelsea first. It's simply, I wouldn't just say it's gut feeling, but I think Chelsea, you look at how they played against City at the end of the season, played 3 times. I believe won all 3 of them. That shows to me how Tuchel's style of play is working. He's got the right squad for him. Obviously bringing Lukaku in London as we speak now.
As we speak,
I think Werner, if he gets a chance, could be in for a good season. I know he's got Lukaku in front of him. I think Kai Havertz, Young Player of the Year shout. Sorry, I don't. I'll take German as well. I'll still say it wrong. I'm sorry, but anyway, Thomas Tuchel, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, anyway, we'll move past how to say the manager. I'll talk about actually why Chelsea win the league. Yeah, defense. Rudiger and Christensen have had their moments, especially at the end of last season. Not as solid as, likes of Asp, Reece James. I think Chilwell can come through into his own this season. Had his moments of good and bad last year, but I think he can do well. It's just a great squad. And I think overall they play a bit more winning football than City. I know City literally just won the Prem. I just think Pep is I'm not going to say he's a fraud, fraudiola and that. But when it comes to a proper title challenge, I feel like Chelsea will properly come through when it gets properly competitive and it comes to crunch time. If Kane joins City, they're winning the league. If not,
that's facts. I'm with, man. Go on.
That's what it comes down to, I feel like. But for now, Chelsea, it's going to be close, I think.
George.
Right. As you guys have said as well, last minute signings can completely change this top 4 for me. As it stands though, I've got Liverpool 4 because I feel like they haven't made enough signings. As everyone said, they haven't filled the Wijnaldum role. And if the front 3 are anything like they were last season, they're not going to be pushing for a title. 3, unfortunately, I have Chelsea. I just don't think it's their year this year. But I do think they're going to win one of the 3 cups available. I think they're a cup team for me.
Third.
Two with right. This is bold. My top 2. Without Kane, I've gone City second, Man United first. I think Man United are going to win the title. I've said it since the start of the league. I think he can win the league. 100%.
Okay, it's not
right. Here's why.
Go for it.
Here's why. Man City don't have a striker for me. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is good enough.
They need one.
They need a striker. They need a vocal point. They don't have a vocal point. For me, the false nine doesn't work. It works with a very select number of teams. I don't think City can play
It
that
works
false
with
nine.
They should play it last year.
They played it last year.
I
Even like
just-
De
I
Bruyne
don't
played there. That's all I'd say.
I think they need a striker. And I think Man United, on paper, if they can actually play well, they have the perfect team.
Man United get out.
Perfect.
If no injuries, their team, if they have Euro Maguire, Euro Shaw,
This is not
if
how
De
it
Gea is
works.
on form,
Don't just choose the best form of each player and just.
Yeah. No,
I just think Man United have signed the 2 players that they needed, and they're going to win.
They've got no DM. They ain't got no 6. They ain't got no 6. You cannot play.
McFred is not good enough.
McSauce.
McFred is not good enough.
No way.
No.
McSauce. No
McSauce.
McSauce is goated. Trust me.
They
McSauce is
need like
Okay. Let's pose
they
this
need a-
question: Who from the United squad gets in the City first team? Right.
Maguire.
Pogba.
Maguire.
So does Luke Shaw does. Luke Shaw goes in. Pogba.
Luke
Varane.
Shaw.
Pogba.
Who?
Sancho.
Nah, Sancho doesn't get in.
Sancho.
Nah.
I'd rather have
Morris
him
and
than
Sterling
Mahrez.
over
You
easily.
want Sancho and Morris? You're tripping.
Nah.
You're tripping.
Not right now. No.
You're tripping.
Of course, I'm saying that. I have to say it for my argument. I don't actually believe that. I need to
Okay,
say that.
so you
No.
don't actually think it, but you're just saying it for the sake of it. Yeah, okay.
Pretty much.
Respect.
I just
Okay.
think Man United are going to win the league. They're due a title.
They don't have a CD. No,
So are Spurs, but
CDM's
we're not gonna
opposition.
win.
How many
CDM's
times I've
opposition.
got to tell you, Shalom? McSauce.
But they just can't play. They don't win a league. You just can't play.
They're winning the
them.
league. They're winning the
Bro.
league. Just trust me.
If
They're
they
winning the
get
league.
in DD or a Rice or something to pay the 6, sure, but they don't have a 6.
They're winning the league. They're winning the league.
Bro, you're
Okay.
telling me they're
If
playing
you're
the
saying that,
midfield.
fine.
They're going to play
Fine.
the most attacking midfield of all time.
All right, fine. Chelsea going to win the league. Would that shut you up if I say Chelsea going to win the league?
No, I'm calm with someone saying, but Man U, it's with
Yeah,
no
I think
DM.
Man U are going to win the league.
They
McSauce,
got
how
lucky
many
last year with their
times?
wins. Pen merchants,
They don't
comeback
have a
merchants,
Doesn't
DM.
matter
counter
how
attack
you win it.
merchants.
Bennett, it
You
doesn't
know-
George, they
matter how
don't
you
have a
win it.
DM. George, they don't have a DM.
But were they actual
McSauce.
contenders this
That's
year?
not a
They're
DM.
not.
Pogba, put in there.
He's not really
Not
a
a DM. It's not a DM. No, that's not
McSauce
a
then.
DM.
Or Fred. Fred will do a
Oh,
job.
McFred is the worst duo of all time. They're not. Get out.
Get
Fred
out.
Aldinho.
Man United, get out. Get
Fred
out.
Aldinho, trust me.
But there's no way Lingard gets in this next season if he stays. But
Yeah. If Lingardinho is starting and Maguire's starting, they're winning. That's all I'm saying.
so you have it as Chelsea United. No, Chelsea Liverpool. Was Chelsea fourth or Liverpool fourth?
Chelsea third.
All right, Liverpool, Chelsea. Okay, cool.
Okay.
United. Okay.
This race
Okay.
could be good though. I think all 4 of them have a chance, realistically.
Mhm.
United the
It's
least.
gonna be a good
but
year, I
for
think. I
me-
think that some of the players I'm excited to see in the Prem, like Sancho and
Mhm.
Varane. I'm excited to see Grealish at City. I know this is off topic, but I don't think I've seen that 100 mil player. I know he's creative, but he hasn't got the stats to back it up. And I feel like Man City don't need a left winger for me.
It's called English tax. It's called English tax.
No,
All
I
I-
know.
okay,
I know.
all I'm
They've
saying-
been heavily hit by the English tax, but I just don't
Grealish-
think they need a left winger.
He's
So
not
first
bad.
of all, he still can
also-
play centre mid. He played centre mid for basically his
That's
whole
true.
career.
That's true.
And I
that's
know
true.
the left wing role suits his more dribbling style, drawing fouls, that sort of thing, right? Gives a bit more freedom to, create, do a bit more of the ball. But anyway, I think Grealish, people can look at stats of Grealish and say, oh yeah, or Ashley Young had more goals for the club and James Milner did all that stuff, right? You can say that. Grealish is not just stats. He's creating for the team. He gets drawn to him, like literally teams, like I think we double teamed him. I saw West Ham double, like people, it draws attention, right? So he can either draw the fouls, he can look for cross. He basically has no weakness for a left wing. He can do whatever you want for him, like literally. That's why I think he could just go right into that City team, play centre mid, play left wing, play anywhere in that attack and do well. And I think 100 mil, it's the English tax. I totally get it, and City don't really need him, but yeah, I still think he's going to do well. He for me, I think I've spoken to Shalom. I think he's definitely world class in terms of talent. But yeah,
That's another thing I'm not happy with. World class is thrown around too much.
It's
these
talent.
days.
No, it's world class talent, not world
world
class.
class talent. I'm sorry,
Talent,
but
not
I think
player.
he is probably one of the best players.
It's
He's at
talent.
least top 10 players in the Prem. Easily top 10 players in the
Oh,
Prem.
that's pushing it. That's
Top
pushing
10 players
it.
in the Prem. Top
That's
10 players in the
pushing
Prem. Definitely.
Yeah.
On his day, consistency.
Yeah, but he was on his day all the time when
Well,
he was
I can
fit
say
last
on
year.
his day. On his
Villa.
day, I can say Paul Pogba's the best player in the Prem.
Exactly. So he's one of the best centre mids in the world, right? You say that. But
Behind McSauce.
that's me. But I think people didn't see the Grealish because he's playing for Villa. And that's why. So
I just think the spotlight's gonna be on him for a bit at City, but he's in team for the superstars, so I feel like
he might not get as much game time, but in terms of talent, like he will shine. He will shine.
He's talented. He's talented.
I hope he shines because I like to see English players do well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
But as long as they lose to us, it's fine.
Right, I'm gonna skip over the disappointing and breakout team because I presume both your breakout teams gonna be Villa because how high you put them. My breakout team was Palace.
Surprise team, I guess. Norwich is kind of surprised to stay up, I guess.
And disappointing, it's probably gonna be like West Ham, something like that.
West Ham.
I think Everton.
Everton. What do you have Everton?
I had them at 8th, but I felt like they're gonna let
8th.
Me down.
They were 10th last year.
You put them to go 8th.
I don't know. I just think I want them to finish 8th because I think they will. They have it in them, but I just think injuries.
You think they'll do worse, right? Okay.
Oh, okay.
I kind of get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I think we're gonna start off with who do you think your breakout baller is gonna be this season? And I'm gonna start. I'm gonna kick this off. And I've got 2 names. One's gonna be Billy Gilmore playing in that Norwich team. He's gonna be one of their best players. He's gonna dictate the midfield. He's gonna play every single game, nearly every minute if he doesn't get injured. Yes, and I've got Dwight McNeil at Burnley. I think he's the only shining light that in that whole Burnley team. Much I hate their football, he's the only player I rate there properly. So yeah, that's my 2 breakout players. I'm not going with these Mason Mount to break out. These people are breaking out.
He's kind of already broken out.
No, he's broken out. He's broken out.
They're all those sort of players. I'm not going with them lot to break. I'm going with some more What about you, George? Who's your breakout?
I think Eze from Palace.
He's injured for a long time, though.
I know,
but when he
I think
plays,
once he comes back, he'll break out. And I'm going to go Southampton biased here. I can't pronounce his name. The left back we signed from Chelsea on a permanent. Yeah, because I think left back's a weakness, obviously, because we got rid of Bertrand, and although he's very young, I think he's going to get a lot of game time because we basically need him to play. So I think Academy Player of the Year from Chelsea for 4 mil for me is a steal.
I told you that stat yesterday.
Very, very high ceiling.
Bennett. Sorry, breakout baller.
I'm gonna say one Spurs player just for the sake of it. I'm gonna say Steven Bergwijn's in line for a breakout.
He's actually, you know what? I checked on FIFA yesterday on Karima. He's 23. I thought he was so much
that's
older.
the thing. He's got time. It's only going to be his 2nd full year at the club. I think he got very unlucky with his chances he got last year. Sort of when he was playing at the start of the season, didn't really play a very high up role. He was more sort of going to be that high press, win the ball back, kind of counter-attacking player. Didn't really have that much going forward. Of course, we're going to see a lot of this year, I'm telling you. But yeah, Bergwijn, I can see Skip if he gets the chances. He's looked very good in pre-season. Was great for Norwich last year. But this depends whether
named after a packet of crisps.
Yeah, and he's absolute sauce. So yeah. And I'm going to say 2 Brentford players. I'm saying Brian Mbeumo on the right.
Oh.
He's 20. I think he's 21, 22. I think he had around 20. What's it called? Combined
contributions
goals and assists last year.
Yeah,
he's the great player. I watched him in the playoffs. He looked very, very good. And I think with that Brentford team, there's not a lot of other players going forward except Ivan Toney. Really, they signed that other guy from Lorient. I can't remember his name now. I said it earlier. It's but I'll remember it. But yeah, I think he has a lot of opportunity to shine. And I'm also going to say Ethan Pinnock, the centre back from Brentford, had a great season last year. Just a very solid English defender. So, I think he's got what it takes in a pretty weak defence. But yeah, and also who else? I was going to say Livramento. I'm going to say Conor Gallagher as well. I think Conor Gallagher is going to have a good year. Obviously, I think he really impressed me when I saw him at West Brom last year. Just a very complete midfielder, gives a lot for the team, very hard working, wins the ball back, brings it forward. I think, with a bit of, tailoring of his game from Vieira, obviously a great midfielder. I think he can really help him with that. So, yeah, I think that's probably the main ones. Maybe I could see Rafinha had a bit of a shine last year, and Harvey Barnes as well also had a shine last year. But yeah, they're my players.
I like that a lot. Right. I'm skipping coach of the year too. Whoever you think is going to win the Prem is winning coach of the year.
I was going to say Tuchel, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're going to think Ole is going to win coach of the year pretty much.
I mean, if it's not that, I'd say someone like Daniel Farke for Norwich if he keeps them up, I think as well.
Okay. So I'm going to go with most improved player, but you can kickstart most improved too.
Most improved?
Couple names you got. What names?
So firstly, actually, I'm gonna save some of your Chelsea boys for later because I know you'll probably mention the same ones as me. I'm gonna say I've wanted it for a while.
No, you can name Chelsea players, but I've got none. I was trying to keep away from them.
If I think of any others, I'll tell them. But I'm gonna say Dele Alli at first. Obviously, we know even at this point, still has more goals than Lampard and Gerrard did his career. I know he's a different player, but still, when you look at the numbers he's put up, the games he's put, even when he was 21, 22 years old, and he's still 25. And Nuno's given us his new role. He basically plays as a left mid in defense, so he kind of gets back. Because to be honest, he can put in a good shift in defense. He has a lot of good defensive work rate, so he's good at that and bringing the ball up, and then goes into a number 10 sort of shadow striker in attack. So I think Nuno, he wants to experiment. He wants to utilize Dele Alli as much as possible, and he's going to have chances this season, I think. So I think Dele Alli could be a surprising player. And I'm going to say Kai Havertz as well. Now, I don't know where he's going to fit into that Chelsea team this year. He should play, definitely.
He will play.
He's got to play. I think he's shown glimpses last year. Obviously, he's going to have that massive confidence boost at the Champions League final. Probably one of the best things you could do for your club, really, right? Pegging the money back just in one goal. So I think he's going to be good. Another player, Saïd Benrahma, I'm going to say. I'll take one of yours.
Yeah.
I've heard he's been very good in pre-season, and he obviously was a brilliant for Brentford in the Championship. Didn't get as much chance for West Ham coming off the bench, but I think this year, given how the glimpses he showed and the money they spent on him and how well he was in the Championship, I think he's going to get that opportunity this year. So, yeah, they're my one for now.
Oh, I'll say. Go on, George.
I got 3. I got Doherty, previously mentioned. I know slight flop last year.
He's got Nuno, to be fair. Nuno, yeah.
I think Nuno's going to bring the best out of him. I got Calvin Phillips. I know he's already improved from the Euros.
Everyone's taken.
I think he'll continue the Euro form. He looked incredible at the Euros. I feel like he won't do like a Pickford. I think Pickford won't do as well as he does for England, like he always seems to do for Everton. And I've also got James Rodriguez, who I think is going to improve this season. I think it's his time now. We've waited long enough to have the World Cup Colombian James Rodriguez, and I think we'll get it now.
Can I just touch on the Doherty thing? As I said, obviously Nuno was working with Doherty and transformed into a great player. We're not going to play back 5 this year, mainly because we don't have the centre back depth, and I don't think it really suits us that well. And Nuno's been sticking with back 4 in pre-season anyway. Doherty's looked terrible. I don't want to stuff about saying he's a system right back, all this stuff. If he can't play a pass, like he's not playing. He's not good football. It's not about he's not doing well because he's a right wing back. He just wasn't good. It's just a fact. Even when he played right wing back. And I think I'm going to add a breakup player. I'm going to say Japhet Tanganga. I think most Spurs fans agree with me. He should start at right back this season. That's my opinion. Doherty's just not really cut it so far.
He's a
Tanganga he's looked brilliant in pre-season and also when he played last year at right back. So I think he fits in right well. But Doherty, I love it. If he gets back to his Wolves form, would be great for us. But I'm still not sure. I'm not sure, man. But you never know.
Okay. My most improved. Well, Benrahma's been nicked. Phillips has been nicked. So I've got 2 here. One's just come back to my mind. One that I've got written down here as well was Nicolas Pepe. I feel like he was fighting his feet at the end of the season with Arsenal, and I do believe that he's going to be he's going to show a bit more of his worth this season. I feel like he's got great ability. He can take on the play. He can come in. He can cut inside, left foot, right foot. He's got it all. He's got all the traits to be a very good football player. Sometimes he has a lapse of concentration, bad touch, ret-a-tat. But I believe he's going to fix up the season. Him, Smith Rowe, Pepe. No. Him, Smith Rowe, Saka with Aubameyang or Lacazette, whoever's going to be up front. I feel like that could be really good this season. I thought Pepe will shine. I've got Trent to make a comeback season this year. People having a lot of disrespect on Trent's name last year. Even people like, what's his face? Roy Keane was giving him shade. I saw Gary Neville say stuff. He shouldn't go to Euro, this, that, and the other. As a Chelsea fan, I've seen people say Reece James is better, all these stuff. I'm just like, come on, man. This guy is the best right back in the world, and I want him to show it again this season, So yeah, I've got
people
Trent.
acting like he was awful last year. He wasn't actually awful. He just wasn't. It's his high expectations, and people get he's like 22, 23, which is absolutely insane for what he's been doing. So yeah, I think that's a no-brainer for me. I think for Trent to do well.
You good there, George?
Yep.
Well,
Jeez, man.
I completely agree. I think the slander Trent's got is pretty unfair. As Bennett said, only 22 or however old he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will have a comeback season. I think he's due one. He had a bit of the whole Liverpool team had a bit of a patch last season, but that's expected when you performed incredibly well for probably, I'd say, 3 years. When Man City snatched the title off them, that was unprecedented to win the last, 10 games in a row or however many it was. Any other year they would have won. And I think that last year was a lull. And I think Liverpool, as weird as it sounds to say, they might be a slight dark horse, you could say. It doesn't sound right saying Liverpool a dark horse, but after last season's maybe slight disappointment, I think once people like Trent are back to full guns, then they'll be very good.
Right. I'll kickstart sign this season, and I've got 2 names here. One of them is a Chelsea boy, Bolognoli. We've already talked about him. I keep calling him Bolognoli because I've got it stuck in my head now because she's calling him Bolognoli. Lukaku, I've got him on the side of the season. Of course, I don't need to go into him, but I've actually got a Spurs player here, and it pains me to say, but Christian Romero.
I was going to say him definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he I think he could be that guy. He was Syria defender of the year. He was part of that Argentina team. He started the games. He was team of the season for Syria and in the Copa America. I think he's very good, and it's a great signing for Spurs. It pains me to say Spurs player, but yeah. Spurs.
I like that.
Got to sign the season. And I've got to back my boy. I've got one more here. I've got to back my boy Bailey. I think he's gonna have a good season. So yeah, that's my 3. Mm-hmm. Someone else can go into Lukaku if they want to, but I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about my club too much. You feel me?
I'm not going to say Lukaku because I don't know yet what he's going to do. Really. My 3. My first one is we don't know how he's going to adapt yet because he's already been going to be given a big role for a new look team. I'm going with Wendia. Now, if I get his stats up, he had 15 goals and 17 assists in the Championship. I know you could say last time he was in the Prem wasn't quite the same. I think he had something like 1 goal and like 8 assists. Like he got the assist, but overall wasn't that productive as people thought he would have been. But he's a different player. Norwich are a different team now. They've matured. He's matured. He had a lot of discipline issues before, but now I think he's all sorted out. And I think he's going to really be productive for Villa. Be a great replacement for Grealish. Another one, who was I going to say? I'm actually going to say Lokonga from Arsenal. Obviously, they need kind of another midfielder next to Partey this season because it looks like someone like Lucas Torreira is going to be out the door. Guendouzi's out on loan. They need another one next to him. So I think Lokonga's looked great in pre-season. It's a pretty, I think, 15 mil for him from Anderlecht, and I think he's going to shine. And for my 3rd one, I think I was having in my head. I would say Brian Hill but I don't think he's actually going to play that much this year, so I'm not fully sure.
I want to say
But
about Brian Hill. He was diving all over the place in that Olympic game.
he's a very soft player, but when he
Yeah,
when he's
he
feeling
dived
himself,
all over
I'm
the
telling you,
place.
with the ball in his feet, he's an absolute magician. Like,
No,
literally,
he was good. He was just going down like feather.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, no, he is. He's a modern day winger, I should say, with the way he plays. But for a third one, I'd love to say Patson Daka, but I'm not sure how much game time he's going to get
Game
in that
time.
Leicester team.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to go with. I think I'm just going to go Varane. I think he's going to be a perfect piece, as George said before. I think they needed that centre back next to Maguire, and I think he's a perfect. He covers for him. If you see him compared to some of these strikers he goes out to, he's quicker than all of them pretty much. He can cover basically any not a defender, striker who goes in behind. So I think it's perfect to go next to Maguire. And yeah, I think that's pretty my three. Yeah.
What's happened with that Varane sign, by the way? That is taking years. I swear he was announced like 2 weeks ago.
He had
Nothing's
to
happened.
isolate coming to the UK, so he used
Right, that makes sense. That
5
makes
days.
sense.
Yeah, because that's taking time. I was like, what's happened? Cool, George. What's some of your signings of the season?
Disappointingly, I've just seen the news Jan Vestergaard's leaving Southampton to Leicester.
When?
Oh wow!
Just now?
It's pretty much just been confirmed.
Yo.
He's looking for about 15 to 18 mil. It's apparently worth, which for me is good. Back end of last season, he didn't want to be there. We might be another man down. If we replace him with another young player, that's fine by me, because our defense is looking very, very weak and lack of depth there. Just touching on that, I'm pretty disappointed in that, to be honest. Although he didn't want to be there, he's a good player.
That might change my predictions. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie.
That's changed my predictions. I can't see us staying up now. I really can't. I say we're getting relegated 17th. No, sorry, 18th.
I could see that
apart
now,
from that,
to be honest.
I can't see us staying up. Our team is so bad this season.
Vestergaard was a big piece last year to that kind of stinking.
Yeah, and we don't have a good defense anyway. He was the only half decent defender we actually had. So that's us done. Man.
I think you could be going down now. Generally,
yeah, it's our time. It's our time. We've been on the edge.
I really hope you don't go down, because I mean,
well, so do I.
Southampton have been unproblematic. They've given some good memories, but yeah, I hope not. I mean, Burnley, we all want to go down.
Season, Varane, as Bennett said, and I'm going to keep saying his name, but I can't pronounce it properly. The Don from Chelsea, Livramento. How do you say it? How do you say it?
Livramento.
Yeah, him. I think, as I was saying, breakout season, he's going to be classed. Absolute steal. Chelsea player, academy player, and he's only 18, and I think he'll be good. And
sorry, didn't put Obafemi for the breakout.
No, because but apparently Obafemi's leaving, so that's another one out
the
door.
Oh my god!
Apparently
you'd be happy with that. I swear Sam Bridges' dance floor.
What game that was?
Okay, I guess we're going to young player of the season. I only want one name for player of the year. Young player of the season, I want one name. George will stick with you. One name.
What, for player of the year and young player?
Young, just for young. We want young first. Just young.
Foden.
But okay. I rate that. But what if Man U win the Prem, as you keep saying? Would Sancho not be there? The young player of the season?
Is he still qualified for that?
Bro, yeah, he's done at 23. Yeah,
of course he's like 21.
Remember, Sterling won it when he was 24, because he started the season off at 23. So you can literally start at 23 and be 24 and win it. So yeah.
I've got a thing with Sancho. I still haven't seen that near £100 million player. I haven't seen that performance yet. I haven't. I'm still waiting for it.
2019-20 Sancho.
In the Euros, and I don't watch much German football, to be fair. But what I've seen him in the Champions League, he's looked good, but I'm waiting for that world class.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw him get pocketed by Jan Vertonghen, that if you saw that game, maybe you think he's not the quite player you see. But that 1920, I can't remember what he got, something like 30 goal involvement, something like that. Like, honestly, for whatever he was, 19 then. Yeah, I've seen it in the Bundesliga, definitely. But I kind of get it. He had a bit of a shaky year last year compared to before, and obviously it's going to adapt. But it just depends. It's not like a safe. Oh, yeah, he's going to tear out the Prem straight away. I don't know that, to be honest. But he's still young. I don't really know. Wait, so who did you say that Foden?
I was going to say still this season. Oh, sorry. Still this season. Sancho, on top of Sancho got 20 goals and assists in all competition this season still. So he's still got to put respect on Sancho's name. He's 20, 1-2? Yeah. You're gone. So Phil Foden. Anyone talk about Phil Foden? How great he is?
No, I don't think I need to explain. Top scorer for Man City.
I just don't know how much he's going to play because he's always injured at the start of the year.
I think he was.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, don't know about playtime with Foden. You know,
I think he'll play false 9.
But you just said false 9 don't work.
I don't think it works, but I think that's what they'll have to play.
Oh, right. Okay.
I don't know, man.
I've seen Pep using Ferran Torres at false 9, by the way.
He's a good shout for a breakout player.
Ferran Torres. You know, Pep's players always seem to do well the second season that he's with with them. So Ferran Torres might be the one this year. Bennett, who's your young player this season?
I'm going to give my one and a sleeper. I've got Kai Havertz.
That's mine as well. That's mine as well.
I mean, if you get the Leverkusen version of Havertz and Champions League final version of Havertz, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a double-digit goals and assist player who's just going to completely tear up the Prem, which I think he will do at some point. And I think it's going to be this season where he starts to become that player they got for over, like, what was it, 65 mil or whatever? I can't remember.
72.
72, that's it. And for a sleeper, Harvey Barnes. That's what I'd say. Before I got injured, I have like something like 10 goals, 11 goals for a winger. And I think he's going to have that same opportunity again, coming off an injury. But I think he's still, you never know, he could do it.
Okay. So I don't need to talk anymore because someone has said mine already. So I don't need to talk on it. You have said, what's this? It's got out of my head now. Havertz. Yeah. Sorry, my mind's blown because, you know, we're recording this on the Super Cup day. I've just checked the Chelsea lineup, and Trevor Chalobah is starting for Chelsea right centre back today.
Wow.
Yeah, big opportunities for him. So I was just quickly looking at that before we went on.
Yeah, no, it's big news. It's big news.
Trevor Chalobah. That's somebody you could bring in at centre back on loan if he doesn't stay. Trevor Chalobah. Decent.
I think you'll probably try loan someone. But yeah.
But if George, you've got to go quickly. Just say 5 more minutes. Or 5 more minutes, George. What is your player of the year? Who is
my player of the year?
Yeah.
I think he's going to continue his good form. I'm going Harry Kane.
Again.
Top goals and assists last season. Got robbed this year. I know Bennett's unhappy.
Yeah,
about
he won it last year. I don't care. He
got robbed. And I just think he's going to continue that form. He's not far off breaking Shearer's record at the pace he's going. And I just think he's going to continue bagging him. I can't see why he's going to slow down.
Yeah, I'd love to say him, but I don't know whether he's going to be feeling playing for Spurs this year. That's the only doubt for me with Kane, to be honest. If he plays the whole season, it's Kane, definitely for me. If not, I'm actually going to say, I'm going to say probably, I think Salah could have a good season again. I think that's probably my best shout. And a sleeper. I don't know if it's a sleeper, but if Kane leaves, I'm going to say Son. I think Son will guide us to that 5th place and could win it. But that's a sleeper. Remember, it's a sleeper for a reason. What I'm saying.
The one on my paper is mad. I said that
I know who it's going to be. I've already said it before.
I said that on Fantasy. The guy got my paper is mad. I got Riyad Mahrez to win it again. The guy got my paper is mad. Yeah. It's mad, but I actually believe he will. Like
he was slept on.
There's no Pep Roulette. Then yeah, definitely.
He's City's best player after De Bruyne. After After
yeah, I think that's about right. I think that's true. Nah. He's better than Diaz. Diaz is the one season.
Player of the year last season.
Yeah, because he deserved it. Yeah. Kane won that. I don't care what everyone says. He won that award.
So yeah. per the got Riyad Mahrez, I think he can get a good 15 this season. Maybe not that because that's a bit mad.
He
But you
could.
know what I
He
mean?
could.
He could.
Yeah, Leicester. Why can't I do it at City?
Exactly. I think he's incredible. If they start a lineup with unknown Sterling on the left, they could be some bandits. Grealish and you have Rodri sitting. You can have like Grealish and De Bruyne in like in that midfield. You can have Foden, Sterling, Mahrez up top. That's a very, very, very good team. So, and I think Mahrez can be the shining light of that team to win a player of the season or something in there because when there's, but the only thing I'll say about that, when there's so many good players in a team, it's hard to shine. As I was saying, that's why the De Bruyne numbers went down a little bit last season. When it's so many good players with Pep's Roulette too, it's very, very hard to get good numbers. So, like not good numbers, but like really outstanding numbers. So yeah, I think we've covered it all, haven't we?
Yeah.
Right. That's been a long video, Oh, damn, okay.
Good concept for the start of the season.
Yeah, this has been the Premier League prediction for 2021 to 22 season. So, I've been Shalom Robinson. The man down below me has been George Hadner. The guy to my left, the guy to left of me has been Ollie Bennett. So yeah. Peace, everyone. Stay safe, stay Rona free. And if you don't subscribe or like, you know what we want to say. Your breath stinks. Goodbye.
Yes.